Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Red Devils Experience. Hope you're having a happy new year. Happy new year to everybody in the community. Thank you for joining this community, supporting the channel. We're all happy to have you here as we continue on this journey. We've been doing very, very excellent since we started this community 2 months ago. We're only going to go up from here. Live shows are coming soon. Very soon, once I get the proper equipment to be able to do live streams that will be stable. We will 100% be doing live streams. We will be 100% doing live interaction videos. That is the plan going forward for this year. We want you all to get involved. We want to hear your opinions. This is a united community that is made by a United fan, me, but it includes all United fans, and we want to hear everybody's opinions. We want to have discussions. We love discussion. Discussion is important. Different opinions are important. I truly believe that, and so that's what we aim for in 2024. So thank you very much, and if you can, real quick, just drop a like on the video. It helps us. It takes 2 seconds of your time, and we greatly appreciate it. So we're gonna get straight into it. So the title of the video obviously says Sir David Brailsford, Crisis Talks with ERIK Ten HAG. It was reported that they are meant to sit down with each other and discuss what's going on at the club sometime this week. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen a couple of days later. It also was announced by the United Muppeteers on Twitter. If you don't know about them, go check their account out. They're very good. They're credible, and they don't spew BS like some accounts do. He put out yesterday, or they put out yesterday, that they were awaiting further confirmation, but they believed Sir Jim Ratcliffe would be heading to Manchester for New Year's Day. They provided us an update at the time of this video about 2 hours ago, saying he is in Manchester as of this afternoon, and he will be visiting the club starting tomorrow. So Sir Jim Ratcliffe is in the building. Sir David Brailsford has been in the building. He's been to 2 matches so far. He's watched both matches. The last match, he was sitting with Sir Alex Ferguson. These guys are not wasting any time. Their deal isn't even officially confirmed by the Premier League, but they're here. They're showing their face, and they're trying to get ready to go to action. And as the title suggests, there will be some type of a crisis talks, showdown talks with ERIK Ten HAG. It is part of the process. It has to happen. I don't need confirmation from any source to tell me this. This is the job that they're going to do. You have to do it. You have to talk to the manager. You have to talk to the manager and ask him what's going on. You have to talk to the manager and ask him, where do you feel like the club was letting you down? What are the problems? What is your plan going forward? How are you going to fix this situation you're in? This is all pretty much a formality. I mean, I would be shocked if this guy came in and didn't do any of this stuff. It's pretty common sense. You have to basically interrogate the manager. You have to, drill him hard with questions, tough questions. This isn't like we're gonna sit down, we're gonna chat it up and have a good laugh. This is serious stuff. They're coming in to do a job. They have a very big job on their hands. Their job is to try and turn Manchester United around from what we've been for the past 10 years. And they're not going to do that wasting time or playing games. This is straight business. These guys don't mess around. I encourage you, if you haven't already, just take a look into, look up some YouTube videos on Sir David Brailsford, just speaking on sports or some type of philosophy. Even Sir Jim Ratcliffe, if you can find them, just to get a little bit insight into who these guys are, how they think, what they believe in, what's their life philosophy. Sir David Brailsford is a very interesting guy. Before this acquisition, I didn't know too much about him. I'm not into the whole racing aspect of the cycling and none of that. Obviously, I know he's a sir, so he has to be kind of important. He has to, he had to do something worth being knighted as a sir. And this guy he has a very interesting philosophy in that he tries to make things that are already high quality or have a high ceiling. His way of approaching to make those things better is very, very interesting, and I think it actually flies in the face of normal society. Whereas like normal society tries to do too much at one time, and his approach is more of like, how do we up that by 1%? How do we up what you're doing by 1%? Because you're already great. You're already doing great things. But actually, we could probably make you do better if we up you by 1%. If you increase something specific by 1%, you will be even greater than you are now. And for example, it could be something as small as like if you perform at a high level every day, but you do 7 hours of sleep, you only get 7 hours of sleep, right? He might come to you and be like, listen, your performance is fantastic. You take care of yourself, you do this and that. But you said to me you only sleep 7 hours a day, right? Well, why don't you try sleeping 8 hours a day? That might increase your productivity by an extra 1%. Now, that extra 1%, if you're already doing greatness or you're pushing high expectations, that 1% is like, in actuality, it's an extra like 10%, 20%, 50, 30, 40, 50%. It increases the productivity because you're already so good at what you do. You're outbeating everybody else. You're in the top 1%, and he's increasing you by 1%. So you go into like the top 0.5%, which is phenomenal. Obviously, he explains a lot better than me. That's just basic synopsis of what he tries to do or what he has done in sport. And I would encourage you to go look that up. But yeah, these are crunch times for Erik ten Hag. I really, really hope that they give him an opportunity because I'm fairly confident that Erik ten Hag can do something at this club if he has the proper people to work with. If he has, Erik ten Hag shouldn't be steering the ship, right? He should be co-captain of the ship. He shouldn't be the main captain of the ship. That should be the CEO, well, the owners, but the owners are the Glazers and the piece of shit. So, the owner, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, because we're going to focus on him now, 25% owner, the CEO, the directors of football, and then the manager, Erik ten Hag. And I believe with these people, with a proper plan, with a proper goal, they can achieve something. And I think Erik ten Hag does. I want him to get a shot at this. I don't want him to get sacked. It would be disappointing for him to get sacked. I understand if he does get sacked because the results have been poor and it's not getting better. We've hit January and it's looking increasingly hard how he's going to turn this around. Now he might get lucky. He might get a bit of luck with the injuries. It was also reported, and let me pull this up for you so I get this correct. It was also reported that where did the article go? Has been reported that Mason Mount, Casemiro, and Lisandro Martinez are all expected this month. That is an absolutely huge boost to Erik ten Hag. It's a huge boost to the squad itself. And this might save him. It might save him. It might not. It might change nothing. The results might still be crap. And it might still keep going downhill to the point where he's going to have to be sacked. Is he going to get sacked this season? I really don't think he's going to get sacked in the middle of the season. I think if he were to get sacked, it would happen somewhere at the end of the season. Somewhere where it would be either impossible to make fourth impossible to Champions League, which would actually only be fourth because we're not in Europe. Otherwise, I think he's gonna stay unless it goes really, really bad. Like it has to go really, really bad. Like for him to get sacked like in the middle of the season. I think they would let him stay until the end of the season, then they would switch him out. But I would like him to get one more season under a proper structure with football people and an actual plan to do something at this club. And you know what? Those three players coming back. I mean, what Luke Shaw, we need him back again. He was out for so long, played a couple games, was fantastic, re-injured, not playing again. These we need to get these injuries under control, and I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the medical staff is thinking. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what It would be nice if somebody from United actually came out and explained to us why this is actually happening, because all it does is lead it just lets the media the players say they've been overplayed, they play too many games, they're overtrained, they're this and that. I mean, but listen, teams are having injuries, but not all teams are having the amount of injuries we're having. They're also not reoccurring, and this isn't the first time this has happened. This has happened through multiple different managers in multiple different seasons in multiple different years where we've had substantial injury crises. So this is nothing new to our club. So yes, the amount of games is a problem. Maybe they are being pushed in training too hard, which I personally don't believe, but I'm not there, so I don't 100% know or can't 100% say, right? Now, there has been more news. So we're going to pull up. Peter Schmeichel made some comments, saying on Anthony, saying that they made a huge mistake, bringing in Anthony, when he could have went for Mohamed Kudus, who was his teammate at Ajax. Ten Hag also coached both of them. He believes there's something special about Mohamed Kudus. Kudus has, I think, like 10 goals and an assist this season. Anthony obviously only has, I think, 1 goal, no assists in like some 35, 50 something matches like that. He scored just once in 51 appearances for the club in 2023. That's not a good record at all. That's worse than Sancho's, and I criticize Sancho heavily for that. So, I think it's important that we talk about this. Now, Mohamed Kudus in the summer went to West Ham for around 35 million, yes? And he has 10 goals and 1 assist so far. I don't think that this would be so much of a discussion if the club wasn't incompetent and spent 85 million on Anthony when they could have signed him for 50 and they valued him at 25. And the reason they didn't sign him for 50 is because they valued him at 25 and they told Ajax that 50 was too expensive because Ajax wanted 50 or 55 and they told him it was too expensive and they said, screw that deal. And I don't know what their plan was. If they weren't going to get Anthony because ERIK Ten Hag wanted Anthony. So I don't know what other player they were going to go get besides a winger. If they weren't going to sign Anthony for 55 million. Of course, we lost first 2 games of the season. The hierarchy shit themselves. John Murtagh shit himself. Richard Arnold shit himself. They panicked. They called up Ajax 3 days before the window closed and said, hey, can we buy Anthony? After Ajax already sold like 8 players, they were not planning on bringing anybody in. They had no transfer targets. They didn't really have anybody to replace Anthony. And there was no plans to do any further business. They did all their business because they're a competent club. They don't wait till the last fucking day to do their business. They don't drag it out all summer. And Edwin van der Sar literally played Richard Arnold and John Murtagh like morons and made them bid as high as possible, and they went all the way up to 85 million. And I think Van de Sar felt bad and cut it off at 85 million. I think those morons would have paid 100 straight if he kept pushing them. So that is 100% on the club. Now, why Ten Hag chose to go for Anthony and not Kudus? I don't know. I preferably liked Kudus. I wanted Kudus. I always saw Kudus more as a cam though, but he can play on the wings. And he's playing very good in the Premier League compared to the player that we played. So coincidentally enough though, or ironically enough, if we didn't pay 85 million and we paid the 50 for Anthony, we could have also signed Kudus for 35. We could have had both players. For the price of Anthony, we could have had both players at the club. So there's the incompetence from the club. And he said, Peter Schmeichel has said on Anthony, he said, Anthony doesn't give much to the team. He frustrates his teammates. It's really frustrating. He's had an opportunity for a long time. This is a player that hasn't scored this season. He's not made an assist and he's not scored. It's like he's really not understanding the game. As a winger, there are certain things you expect him to do. Go into this area, the byline, and cross the ball on your right foot, but he doesn't. Okay. On the last part, Peter, because I respect what you have to say. You don't, he has genuine opinion. He cares about the club. He doesn't say these things for ratings, clicks, because, it gets him a promotion on a TV job. He comes out these things. He really cares. This isn't, personal gain quotes. I don't even necessarily disagree with him on anything. The only thing that I would say is that the reason why he's not going onto the byline and crossing the ball on his right foot is because he's a lefty and he has no right foot. And I said this in the last video we made, and I think I said it in the one before, and I'll say it in the next one, and I'm going to say it in this one. Ten Hag has to stop playing this guy on the right. Listen, it might have worked at Ajax, right? But from Ten Hag's own words, he said, we will never play the football we played at Ajax here, right? So, why is Anthony playing on the right? Why is Anthony playing on the right? Somebody has to answer this question for me. Why is he playing on the right? He's not scoring goals and he can't create. And you make it harder for him to create on the right because he's a lefty and he has no right foot. So why is he playing on the right? Is he playing on the right because we have no right winger? Because technically Garnacho and Rashford both play on the left. You cannot accommodate players like this for the benefit of the player when it hurts the team. You cannot do that. Rashford and Garnacho can both play on either the left or the right. They're both capable of playing on both sides. Way more capable than Anthony. So, in my argument and my opinion, Anthony should not play on the right anymore. He should not play on the right. He should not play on the right. He should be played on the left. Play Garnacho on the right or Rashford on the right. Because that's what you do anyway. When Anthony is not starting, right? When Anthony's not starting, what has he been doing? He's been playing Garnacho on the left and Rashford on the right. Last time he switched it around. Last time he had Garnacho on the right, Rashford on the left, and Højlund up top. So I don't understand why when Anthony comes on, you can't just put him on the left and put whoever you're leaving on the pitch, put them on the right side of the pitch. This is something I don't understand from the manager. It puzzles me and it doesn't make sense. And I wish he would change it. I really do, because I just don't see Anthony. You're leaving him out there to struggle, and he's getting fried alive by everybody, and he's getting criticized. And it doesn't help that the club overpaid, and people are going to use the price tag against him because they always use price tags. It's a very basic argument, very basic knowledge of football. Price tag, this and that. Price tag, he's not worth this. Yeah, I put that on the club. I've never put the price tag on a player. I'll say, like, Harry Maguire wasn't worth 80 million. Do I hold the 80 million on his head? No, I hold it on the club because the club are the ones that negotiate the fee and agree to pay it. It's never the player's fault. It's not like the player came out and goes, yeah, I'm an 80 million player. Any club that wants to buy me in the future, you got to pay 80 million for me. I'm that big. I'm worth that money. They never fucking say that. They never say that. This is all in the club. So I always hate the money argument. Like, yeah, okay, they spent the money, but that's on the club. That's on the club. It's not on the player. It's never on the player. Clubs have been throwing money and spending ridiculous money left and right for fucking years now, and it's only getting worse. So I never like to put the price tag on a player. I just find it stupid. I find it a stupid point to try and argue over or whatever, So that's Peter Schmeichel on that. We also had, so we had a piece of news came out saying Sir Jim Ratcliffe's 25% acquisition of Manchester United is set to reward Old Trafford with a big boost in financial fair play restrictions. FFP has hindered Manchester United of late, as we've previously talked about. Players such as Jadon Sancho, Casemiro, Anthony Martial, and Mason Greenwood, among others, have all reportedly been transfer listed in order for Old Trafford to raise funds for ERIK and HAG. But now, the Times is stating that Sir Jim Ratcliffe's 25% acquisition of the club will now help alleviate the pressure of financial fair play, meaning the club will have more room to make the right purchases. This is due to Ratcliffe's £236 million or $300 million equity investment into the club, which is said to be for the regeneration of the facilities of the training complex and Old Trafford itself. So it says Ratcliffe's new influx of cash means that there is now more wiggle room, in quotations, for transfers, with the club only allowed to make a loss of $50 million across 3 seasons. According to the report, as transfer fees are amortized. We didn't get that word. Adding $90 million to the club's profit and sustainability rules limit will grant Ineos sports management team the option of spending several $100 million more on signing new players and coaching staff. The camera's going real wild. It's changing colors. Just ignore that shit. So, with United currently sitting 7th in the Premier League table after 20 fixtures, big investment in restructuring squad is required. Yeah, that's a fucking understatement. We all know that. But, so basically it's saying that $90 million is being added to the club's profit sustainability rules will limit grant Ineos several $100 million more when signing new players. So that's a big plus. Does that allow for January? There's no specifications on what does this mean? Does that mean that we can go spend $100 million in January, or is this is for the summer? I don't really like these stories too much. If it's true, it's a huge story, and it's a huge plus. It was published by Dylan Penkith. I don't know who the fuck that is. But they do work for the United District. United District, you can find them on Twitter. Another good source of United news. They don't pull out bullshit clickbait. I just don't like the way this is. It's coming from the Times, right? So, but I just don't like how they don't specify anything. I don't like how they don't specify it specifically for the transfer. For what transfer window? We're in a January one right now. We need players. Can we fucking spend money or not? I would like to know. And this is the answer we don't get, because one story comes out, says that we might be able to spend. Another story comes out saying, we have to sell to spend. Another story says, we're not really spending no money this January. Why can't somebody from the club just come out and be like, listen, this is the fucking deal. This is the situation. We're going to try our best to do something. So all the fans can fucking relax and we can focus on the football instead of worrying about this BS. This is something I implore since Jim Ratcliffe has to change. With the CEO or whoever it is, whoever comes in and they have to communicate with the fans. They need to let us know. They have to give us a plan. They have to tell us like what's what. I'm tired of doing this guessing work. I'm tired of being in the merry-go-round of Manchester United news. It's very boring. It's annoying. And honestly, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. So this was reported. MUFC MPB tweeted out. The source is OKAZ. Don't know who the hell that is. But it was said Anthony Martial is in talks with 2 Saudi Pro League clubs about a January transfer. There would be no transfer fee. I mean, I said in the beginning of this video, and I'll say it again, take him. Please take him. I don't want a transfer fee. He's on 300,000 a week wages. 300,000 a week. That's 15 million, 15.6 million. There's your fucking transfer fee. You want your transfer fee? We're saving 15.6 million a year from his wages. Get rid of him. He's not good enough. He should have been moved on. He's too injury prone. He doesn't, talking about we have to lower a wage for a player, and they're talking about Rafael Varane. Anthony Martial is like the mascot of this shit. Way overpaid, can't stay fit, can't play 90 minutes, doesn't contribute fuck all, and shouldn't even be here. So get rid of him. Don't ask for a transfer fee. Just get rid of him and bring in whoever you could bring in. Preferably somebody that's good. If it has to be a loan till the end of the season, may it so be. I'm sure there's a loan deal that we could do out there. Oh, that reminds me. Apparently, Paulo Dybala is available for 13 million. How can you not go sign Paulo Dybala when we need fucking somebody? 13 million for Paulo Dybala. How old is Paulo Dybala? Is he old? I know he's been around for a while, but Paulo Dybala, he's 30. I'd sign him to a 3-year contract. That would take him to 33. He could give us 2 good years. Definitely don't overpay. Don't give him, I don't know what he makes right now, but for sure don't give him over 250,000 a week. Fuck that. That's what I would try and do. But yeah, Martial out. And United definitely need to look at Paulo Dybala for sure. If we don't have money and this is the shit that the route that we're gonna go down, we should definitely be looking at Paulo Dybala. I mean, it's a quality player for 14 million. He's experienced. We kind of need that in the striker department. I don't think he has a bad injury record. So yeah, I would be looking at him. Van de Beek has gone to Leverkusen, by the way. We forgot to mention that. He's on loan. And there's a buy option of like 14 million or something at the end of the year. So good for him. I hated just seeing him wither away. Back there, it was a weird buy. Never worked out. There's just shows you the pure incompetence of how the club was running. Jadon Sancho, Borussia Dortmund, Leipzig. Get this bullshit out of here. I'm trying to read the keeping tabs on Manchester United. Yeah. I'm tired of this story, bro. Just let me know when we get rid of him, bro. Let me know when we get rid of Jadon Sancho. I don't care about that story anymore, bro. It's such a boring and dragged out story, bro. They make such a big deal, bro. They make such a big deal because he's English or whatever it is. It's just like, dude, it's so boring. He's a jackass. I don't want to talk about him. Um, you know, we stood up for that guy so much, and then he does something so stupid and idiotic of what he did. Childish, immature, and unprofessional. And it's just like, dude, I can't back you after that. So I don't want to talk about him anymore. Just get him out of the club. Get him out of the club ASAP. There's something else on Sir David Brailsford. I haven't really seen too much updates on anything else coming out of the club. Sir David Brailsford says he was embarrassed. What's this about? Let's look for the quote. When asked about the team's failure to win the 2014 Tour de France on the Diary of a CEO podcast, Brailsford outlined his disappointment and why he strives for success. These are quotes from Sir David Brailsford. Might give you a little bit of insight. Then after this, we'll end the show because I don't want it to run too long. It's probably already gone a little bit over its time. So the quotes, here we go. Big time. At the time, I was embarrassed. Not for the team or anything, for myself. I couldn't go out of the house, couldn't leave the garden. I remember I called Steve Peters from my garden and said, God, I've let everybody down. I failed, and it was quite difficult. Winning for me doesn't actually, it sounds terrible, but I get an exhilaration from the moment that you win. Obviously, it's great to win, but the emotion, the depth, and the amount of emotion it gives me to win is nowhere near the amount of emotion I get from losing. So he's he's saying he hates losing. Um, he hates losing more than he enjoys winning. I mean, they kind of go hand in hand. If you hate to lose, you want to win. You know what I mean? He just says he gets a heavier emotional reaction from losing. It hits him harder than actually winning. Which I guess is I kind of like that because you certainly don't want somebody that's okay with losing. You don't want a loser. And obviously he wants to win, but he doesn't let the winning go to his head and make him inflate his ego and stuff. And actually he keeps himself grounded, whereas losing actually like is a driving force to improve. From his own words, the negative emotion from losing is massive for me. Whereas the positive winning is okay, yeah, I've done the job and it's part of the journey. Great, fantastic, let's keep going. And that is a key quality in people that win in life. That is a key quality to people that are successful. That statement right there, if you ask any single one of these people, if you look at Jeff Bezos, if you look at Elon Musk, if you look at any of these people, when they win, they never over celebrate the win. They never say, I did it, that's it, I'm done, I'm good, throw my hands back, kick my feet back, it's over, I've accomplished whatever I need to accomplish, and that's it. Because you know what happens when you do that? That's how you fall off. Keep trying to win even more, making sure that you don't lose again or the next time. That's what keeps you going. That's a mentality of a winner. It's a mentality of somebody that's successful. I like these quotes that he's putting out. Well, these were for something else. It was unrelated to Manchester United, but it gives you a little bit of insight into his mindset, what he thinks. And he said also, not wanting to lose and really trying to help people win. I've always had it and always been the same. I get super excited by wanting to do big, bold, and ambitious things and going out and saying, let's go and do X, and then going, wow, what have I done? And then, of course, I've got to make it happen, and I get after making it happen. There's part of me that's probably my heart, which is the crazy ambition of wanting to do things that have never been done before, helping people go after stuff. Nothing is impossible. Another important mindset of somebody that is successful and somebody is a winner. They truly believe, whether you believe it or not, whether it's a fact or not, they truly believe to themselves that nothing is impossible, that they can do anything. And the reason why they accomplish so much is because they believe in that. Because if they start thinking, nah, but that's impossible, they're never gonna do it. They might do it and fail, right? If they believe that nothing is impossible, but at least they're doing it, and they come closer to doing it than the person that said, "Oh, it's impossible." You know what I mean? They came closer to doing it than the person that didn't even try to do it because they said it was impossible, so they never even gave it a shot. And that's why people like that believe nothing is impossible, and I mean they truly believe nothing is impossible. Not they walk around and tell people, "Oh, nothing is impossible." The people that truly believe nothing is impossible, they accomplish great things because there's nothing holding them back. They think they can accomplish something, and every once in a while you end up pulling off a miracle because it actually was it was able to be accomplished, and you pushed for it and you didn't hold yourself back and they got it done. Continuing the quote, and then you go after it, and I think the getting after it is where I go back into more of the detail, the margins, and the doing of it. And it's as if my head and heart just set these wild ambitions, and then I go to switch out of that and into right. Let's get after it, and that's not wanting not and that's not wanting to not succeed at whatever it was. Is what drives me. So very interesting quotes from Sir David Brailsford. He was on a podcast talking about the cycling, but it gives you an insight. This is what I'm saying. Go listen to this guy speak. He's actually very interesting. So I would go listen to him just talking about general stuff, anything with the cycling, just to get an insight into the man that's going to be making major decisions at Manchester United. I think it's important. And I think we have a real guy here. I think we have a real step up from the previous people that were in charge. So things are looking positive. But we're gonna end it today. Thank you for joining us. Have a happy new year. We will see you maybe in a couple days, depending on what breaks and what news comes out. Obviously, it's been a little slow today, yesterday, New Year's and all that stuff. I'm sure there'll be more stuff. There'll be more developments. So Jim Ratcliffe is in Manchester. There might be huge developments tomorrow. We might have to come back tomorrow. Obviously, sometime this week we will be bringing you another one, like we always do. So thank you very much for joining us. Remember, if you haven't already, hit that like button, smash the like button for us. It's very important. And thank you for joining us. Leave your comments down below, opinions, thoughts. If you got any, don't be shy, don't be afraid, don't be scared. Put them in there. I will reply. I've replied to everybody that has done it before. So go ahead, put them in there. And that's it. Have a good morning, good evening, good night from wherever you're watching in the world. Thank you very much. And we will see you later.